DeSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane.
All right, everybody, welcome in to Fresh Takes with Russo and Felice. Paul Russo here, Nick Felice here with you as well. The next 2 weeks are a couple of our favorites around here. Me more so than next week. Nick's more so next week than this week to a degree, but it's our football preview shows, college football today, NFL next week. But Nick, man, I'm excited. I'd love me some college football. We're technically a handful of games through already. But, man, dude, it's tough to beat. We have games starting tomorrow night again for this kickoff weekend they do. It's pretty much everybody in action, and in terms of that, it's always great. But, man, a lot to look forward to. I'm excited.
Also, high school football starts on Thursday as well.
It's true.
But college football is underway. 5 games in, 5 undefeated teams. Iowa State, Kansas State was a toss-up. It ended up being a toss-up, which I thought it would be. But, good start to college football season. Unbelievable slate this week. I heard something about, was it late September? There's a great college football slate.
Yeah.
Great overall sports slate, I heard that weekend, too. So, yeah, it's that time of year again, which kind of snuck up on me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think it's because of how early Labor Day is technically this year. Labor Day is literally September 1, so
it's mostly August weekend.
Yeah, it's just one of those deals. Hey, quickly before we go any further, though, have to thank a couple more of our sponsors, including, you know what you like during football season, Nick, when you're watching a football game? Like
what?
Pizza? You like wings?
Yes.
Chino's could be the place for you for that. Chino's Pizzeria and Restaurant, their original Waterloo location, or all-new renovated location in Geneva. Dine-in, takeout, delivery, catering, and banquets. You can order online at chinos.com. Live, laugh, and eat well. It's the Italian way. It could also be the football way, starting this Saturday for a lot of folks. And Little John and Barbie Orthodontics. Dr. Little John, Dr. Barbie, and their outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal to ensure the overall wellness of each of their patients through their exceptional orthodontic care. You can check out Dr. Odd and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com. All right. College football, I already dove into a little bit, obviously, of it last week.
This is
more
the real
so, this
preview.
is the real deal this week here with it. Second year of this expanded playoff era in the ever-changing world of college athletics. For all we know, this might be the final year of the 12-team playoff, and we just don't know it yet. But either way, it's one of those things where you talk about sneaking up on you. It kind of feels crazy that we start with that a little bit because I think it's hard not to right now with college, probably sports in general, right? But especially football with just the way everything is kind of surrounding it from the money standpoint, economics and stuff like that. But I think once really the ball hits the turf or the bodies hit the turf this weekend, I think that part kind of goes away a little bit to a degree, especially from the fan perspective, I think. So
We got to tweak with the bracket.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Go
It's
ahead.
just now the top 4 teams
Yep.
get the byes,
Yep.
which allows Notre Dame to get a bye this year.
Yeah. It kind of takes away a little bit of a wrinkle. We'll do a little bit of that wrinkle
But
now.
the top 5 conference champions get automatic spots. Still.
Correct, yeah.
That's still a thing. It's just you might see.
Well, oh, right. I see what you're saying with that.
You just might see Arizona State be the 12 seed this year. Type
or
deal.
Or SMU, depending on
Or
the week,
Boise.
but yeah. I was going to say we're kind of, because we're going to do two more in-depth type looks at Syracuse. Obviously, it's kind of funny that they're our two favorite teams, right? In the sense of who we root for, but Syracuse obviously being local, my favorite team. You're a Notre Dame fan, but there's a lot of Notre Dame fans around here. So we're kind of going to look a little bit closer at some of that stuff here in a little bit. But, Notre Dame doesn't have to necessarily worry about having to play weekend one anymore, round one, however you want to call it. And it's interesting because they actually do have a pretty important game in the first third of that schedule involving Boise State, which could have a little bit of a wrinkle effect. You never know, but we'll get more really into that in a little bit because, as you mentioned, right, part of that deal now doesn't fully matter because of the guarantee elements of it now. So maybe not as much of a hiccup. Maybe it is.
We both got tough openers.
Yeah.
I think.
How do you feel about some of those games this weekend? Because not to get too much into like our picks necessarily coming up, there's the usual majority where it's like not cupcake type games necessarily anymore, but like Georgia's playing Marshall. Marshall's not going to be as good as they were last year. Everybody transferred out, but like, the handful of games that are like really headliners are like really good games, right? Texas at Ohio State. It's one of our picks that we're going to be making, but like that's one of the headliners. LSU, Clemson, that's a headliner. Obviously, Sunday night, you're kind of on your island on your own over there, right? Notre Dame at Miami. It's one of those rivalries from a few decades ago that's kind of getting reignited again right now. I mean, this is a pretty good, in terms of like each block having a game, this is a pretty good weekend of each time block having a highlighted game to look forward to.
Question.
Yeah.
The Clemson game. Is that at night? Saturday night?
3:30.
3:30. Who's the night game?
Oh, no, that is the 7:30. That's my bad. Yeah. No, that's the 7:30.
I wish they would switch that one with the Ohio State one.
For noon?
I don't like that Ohio State Texas is on at noon.
But that's an Ohio State thing.
I don't give a crap about Ohio State.
Okay.
This is the consumer here.
I don't disagree.
Put that game on at 7. This is 1 and technically 2 in my opinion. The 2 team is not 2 in my opinion. So this is 1 and 2 going at each other, and we're putting this game on at noon. People on the West Coast, it's 9 a.m.
But that's also, I know what you're talking about with the consumer element of it, but that's also,
You're a consumer too.
it's a Fox game. That game is a Fox game. That's their revolving Big Noon kickoff around that game as usual.
Big noon.
Yeah.
Dumb name.
Speaking of that,
Why is it got to be at noon every time? I don't get that.
yeah, I don't know. I know some games it isn't, some games it is. I don't know.
Anyway, it's just disappointing the time slots. Not like LSU Clemson's not a bad game, which you're more, as we talked before the show, you're more thinking Clemson, this is one of their better teams. I think
since before COVID, yeah.
I think LSU's got a good shot at winning this game, though.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I just think you want to know what?
Brian Kelly don't win big games.
Well,
Is that what you're thinking?
I was going to say, can we save a little bit of this discussion for the wider scope of it? But
Why?
well, look, that game could be a game that we see again in December, quite frankly, right? I mean, let's just call it like we see it in that sense. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's not so much I don't view the standpoint of the Brian Kelly thing anymore. I think for me, it's just more, is Nussmeier really actually all that good? Stuff like that. I get what you're saying. I'm not dumb. I just think, again, probably more so for the wider scope talk we'll have in a little bit. Just like that's going to be a really good Clemson.
What time's Alabama on?
Florida State, I think that's at 3:30 or noon. Yeah, that one's I think 3:30. That one's not one of my picks that I have for us, just because
Florida State's trash.
probably. Yeah. Although that's an interesting line. Alabama's not really favored by an well,
Alabama wasn't
Never
really
mind.
that good last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
The fact that they wanted to get into the bracket was embarrassing.
This is an interesting year for them only because, and I'm only saying that because I don't view it as an interesting year for them. I don't. I think it's that fan base has just become so, once again, nonsensical about what a team can or can't be. Like, it's just crazy to me, man. Like, I don't know. They have a history of running off really good coaches, and I hope that's not the case again with this.
And then obviously you've touched on it. With no NFL on the opening week, we get Sunday and Monday games.
Yeah.
And Monday,
UNC TCU.
closing out the week. The biggest question mark, UNC taking on TCU.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick's debut.
Yeah, I think that's really the only reason why it's getting talked the way it is.
Well, they try to put a.
It's not.
That
game.
biggest game Monday.
Personally speaking, that game to me is really not a needle mover necessarily. I could it tell something about either one of these teams? Yeah. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like, UNC probably is not going to be in that top third of teams, I think, this year in the ACC. Same with TCU in the Big 12. I just don't think either one of these teams is playoff material.
The only thing I'll say about that game is it's going to be a top 2 college football Monday game.
Well, it's one of one this year, and
well, there's 2.
What's the second?
The college championship.
Oh, I thought you meant actually like Monday.
It will be the second.
I'm like sitting there like, but that's the only Monday game.
It will be the second best Monday game in there.
Yeah. You kind of set it up pretty nicely a little bit there involving that noon kickoff. We would be remorsed if we're talking college football. Not mention the fact that this Saturday will be Lee Corso's final game day.
He's wearing Brutus.
Has transcended sport into the culture element of it, obviously. Game day is not going to be the same without him in my mind. I know he's been not removed, right? But look, I mean, he's been struggling a lot the past, frankly, now decade plus.
And he hasn't been he's barely on the show to begin.
Yeah, I think a lot of, I hate saying it the way that it is because, like, I've said it sometimes out here, but, like, I come from a pipeline where I cannot say that age matters. Age is merely a number. I view it as, like, as long as he still wants to keep going, he should keep going, right? Mind you, I really did think, though, last year was a struggle. It's tough when you're 90. I'm not going to say, especially after having a stroke like he's had now 15 years ago. But I like the fact that it seems like he's going out on his terms, more or less. Do I think it was all his decision at the end of the day? Not really. I do think it probably was mostly him, though. But yeah, Texas, Ohio State, really, it's a great game for that to be the final one. I know you mentioned, right, he's probably putting Brutus on. That was his first headgear pick. I know selfishly, knowing his background, I would have loved either Alabama, Florida State, because he's a Florida State alum, played at Florida State. I believe he's still tied for first for career interceptions at Florida State, but don't quote me on that. And it's tough because this game is on Sunday. I wish they could have done something with that Notre Dame Miami game because he's a Miami native, and that would have been, I think, kind of cool in that element to either wrap up the story right at one of those two spots. Not again, nothing wrong with Ohio State. That's a place where he made his first headgear pick, right? Put on the headgear for the first time at Ohio State. It's just that, like we mentioned, like Fox is there. Everybody's kind of on that game already as is. I think it just would have been nice for a different, to honor him better with either being at his school or, honestly, and it's tough, right? Like, it's not like Indiana's playing Old Dominion. That would have been a good game probably just for the sake of whatever. But he's probably most known as being Indiana's head coach from that side of things.
He just went.
I know Navy's on the road this week. That one would have been tough.
They just honored him at Indiana last year.
Yeah, but I'm saying, though, to, like, kind of close out the chapter. You know what I mean? Something like that. Just, I don't know. But
Florida State would have been cool. But
definitely, we're entering a new era, at least on the pregame side of things, with Corso retiring.
Yeah, he's a legend for sure. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be the same. I mean, but whenever someone great like that leaves a show, never is the same. Even if it's a fake character, Mm-hmm. It's like when Michael Scott left The Office, the show wasn't the same. It's never going to be the same. It's never going to be the same. What people look forward to, why people continue to tune in for game picks at the end of the show was to see what headgear he put on at the end. And I loved it when he didn't have a headgear for Notre Dame, and it was just him dressing up as a leprechaun.
Right, dancing with the leprechaun.
And But yeah, we're gonna miss that, and I know this won't happen, but nobody should ever put a headgear on ever again. That is his thing.
But that's my main worry.
You think someone would do it? Maybe not now, but like years from now.
Not so much of that.
I know Jay Williams, and it was terrible in college basketball. Jay Williams did a whole thing where he would rip his shirt or whatever.
You should know
college basketball.
You should know exactly where I'm thinking with this, with game day itself. Anyway, if I see McAfee ever do it, I mean, bad enough. I'm probably going to be tuning out.
He'll get roasted though.
It's probably bad enough. I'm probably going to be tuning out of a lot of game day now with Corso leaving in that regard. But yeah, if I see McAfee put on headgear, I might fly to wherever they are at. And
you sound like a big fan of the big noon kickoff. You going over to that station?
No. You want to know where I've been going a lot recently in the past couple of years for a lot of different sports stuff? CBS.
They have a pregame on Saturday.
Yeah. And they just really more or less talk football or any sport for that matter. I do a lot of college.
Yeah.
I think it helps, at least on the basketball side of it, they have the rights for March Madness, but basketball especially, I listen to probably more on them than I do ESPN.
Well, they got John Rosenstein.
Well, it's not so much that. It's just more, again, they're actually talking though the games and stuff like that. Not hypotheticals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're gonna miss him.
Yeah, for sure.
And I like that they're giving him one game at the start of the season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think if they didn't do anything, it would have been. It's tough. I think I still would prefer the whole season. That way, you have the opportunity to have gone to places he hadn't been to yet.
And
but could I don't know why it could be whatever, but last year he missed a couple weeks. This has been a trend, especially post-COVID, that he's missed time. Would he have even made, say, a trip to whether it's Charlottesville or Syracuse, or those are really the two that always stick out.
Yeah, it is. It is disappointing. He never got a chance to go to Syracuse. Yeah. Maybe someday they'll go to Syracuse, which is ridiculous. They haven't ever gone, but.
I don't even think there's a good game, especially on the back half, because there's no way they're going to any of the front half games, I don't think. But, the way Syracuse does the schedules for football, man,
Has Syracuse been a game day, even on the road?
So, they recognize it technically as yes, but it's really no. When they were in New York City the one time, they counted it because Otto was, there. It's what are we doing?
Yeah, anyway. But I'm glad they're giving him doing it at the beginning of the season, so this is his moment. Because if they do it at the end, where it's a national championship, that's more the national championship moment. Yeah. At least now, this is all about him.
It's kind of crazy, though, especially on the Syracuse side, that they never went to one, especially in the late 90s, when they had really good teams against other really good teams, like Florida State, Miami, schools like that. Kind of surprising.
Was it last year you were disappointed they didn't go to the Miami-Syracuse game?
Yeah. They did. They were at A&M or something that day. Yeah, it was A&M because they had...
That they already been once before, too.
Yeah, because they were at A&M for Notre Dame.
Yeah, they went twice.
They went twice, and I remember distinctly because Dude Perfect were the guest pickers. Everybody picked Miami, and Herbie was the only one who picked Syracuse. He was I think it was everybody down the line was convinced, Miami convincingly. Corso was Syracuse will cover. And then Herbie's I think Syracuse is going to win outright. So.
And they did.
Yeah. Hey, enough about that in the past. Before we get to say those final thoughts we really have on the wide lens of things, Nick, let's do those in-depth looks at Syracuse, at Notre Dame this year. Odd or even? I'll let you take a pick, Nick. Odd or even?
Odd.
Okay. So Notre Dame will be first. I believe this is Notre Dame's schedule. It is. Job well done by me. Open the year, we already mentioned, Nick, this Sunday against Miami. Then it's an interesting scheduling quirk here. Bye week for week 2.
Don't like that.
Before hosting the aforementioned Aggies of A&M in week 3. Then home against Purdue, on the road at Arkansas. There's that game I was talking about a little bit before that's interesting. Hosting the start of October, Boise State. then home against NC State, home against USC, at Boston College, home against Navy, at Pitt, home against Syracuse, and then on the road in Stanford.
Oh, tough one.
It's an interesting schedule this year for them. I'll throw it back up in a second here, but talk a little bit quickly. Off air, you were pretty hyped about numerically the schedule. You still feeling the same way now that we're on air?
Yes.
Okay.
We beat Texas A&M last year. We'll beat them again. Jeremiah Love's is only getting better this year. Obviously, yeah.
I'm going to keep one question, by the way, after we had done for the Syracuse discussion, because both of them had interesting off seasons at one particular position.
Freshman quarterback with CJ Carr.
Save it though for after Syracuse.
So what do I say now?
Me. Well, so I guess you don't see any stumbling block really for them.
Oh no! If you put it back up, Arkansas
really
could be a stumbling block. Just at Arkansas, going in as 3-0. But yeah, I think that could be a stumbling block. USC is always a rivalry game. You got to be up for it. I like that we're at home, and yeah, I mean they've dominated the ACC regular season and the ACC in the regular season for years. Even overall, if you want to, yes, they lost the one ACC championship game for some reason to Clemson. They were playing in that for some reason.
2020,
but but this week's game's going to show a lot. If they lose to Miami this week, then I'm concerned that we might lose a few more. But if they do their job, go into Miami, that's a pretty good win, and I'm confident that 11-1, 12-0 is a possibility.
It's interesting looking at it because, and maybe part of this will be also a little bit part of our predictions later on in a sense. But I'm not super high on Miami. I'm not super high on A&M. Frankly, to me, I think if there is a first stumbling block in that sense that we're talking about here, I do think it's that Boise State game.
You keep bringing it up. Bringing it up.
I think it's just the fact that they've just been so consistently good anyway. You know what I mean?
All right. I like them at home. That's why I like the game a lot.
After that, I know maybe it's going to be a little homerish. I think it depends a lot of like Syracuse's season up to that second to last weekend.
That should be fun.
I mean, other than that, I don't foresee a ton of really big challenges on that schedule for Notre Dame this year.
Stanford, Purdue.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, say, on like the USC front overall. I just think that is a team that I don't view them as necessarily in turmoil.
And who knows what that team's going to look like by then?
But that's what I'm getting at, right? Is the fact that like Lincoln Riley's already on this proverbial hot seat. They got out of the gates bad for whatever reason. He might not be coaching that game for the Trojans. They
start quitting the team.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm with you. I guess I do see Notre Dame at 12-0, frankly. If I'm being totally honest.
I mean, you can't sleep on the road games. At Boston College, you got to show up.
I just think, I know you view that Arkansas game as tough. Again, though, that's a team that, I don't know what to expect from them.
It's also a noon game, too.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's a team, Sam Pittman, a head coach who, frankly, probably should have been fired last year.
So I'm a little disappointed. Where's all the 3:30 games? Not that many of them this year.
Yeah, not that many. Notre Dame gets kind of, there's
a few. 1,
2, 3, 4 for sure. That's a 30-year schedule.
Yeah, I know. I'm used to the play 3:30 every week.
I guess. So you're feeling pretty confident there.
Yeah. Especially you can lose games now. Notre Dame does not put pressure.
I always say you have the ability to for sure lose one now.
If they beat the ranked teams and stumble against Boston College, they're going to be in.
Even though we didn't see it last year, I still feel nervous for a lot of teams if you lose 2. Just because, God forbid Greg Sankey gets around anywhere.
Until we see a 3-loss team get in, try to avoid that.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's 9-3.
Yeah.
That's a good season, but it's not.
So outside of quarterback, because not to give too much away, that's the part I want to save for after Syracuse. Outside of quarterback, how do you feel overall about Freeman's kind of lineups that we got looking at and stuff?
Well, I'm intrigued to see how the receivers, because frankly, we didn't have great receivers. Our best receiver probably was that lacrosse kid, and I'm intrigued to see how he can do with inexperienced receivers. Running game should be great. Defensively, I'm looking forward to that. No Northern Illinois on the schedule, so we should be fine.
Or Marshall.
Or Marshall, yeah. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the season. I think Jeremiah Love could definitely be a Heisman candidate.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
And he's definitely going to be a good top draft pick and a fantasy guy to watch out for next year. So
even this year for college, because there's college fantasy.
There is. Fantrax.com, baby. Yeah, looking forward to see how it all gels. I'd like to see a receiver step up this year, though.
Yeah, part of it. Take a look at Syracuse's schedule now.
Yes, please.
All right. Yeah, obviously not.
I feel like I've seen that November 22nd game before.
Yeah, obviously not as easy, quote unquote.
No.
As Notre Dame's. I think Syracuse has, at the moment, the 5th hardest schedule in the country. So
looks like the hardest to me.
Yeah, I mean, begin neutral site against Tennessee in Atlanta this weekend, then a couple home games here in September against UConn and then Colgate, at Clemson, and then home against Duke to wrap out September. And boy, their bye week does not come until the middle of October, their first one there. And I guess I'd maybe prefer that to say Notre Dame's week 2 bye week as your first, but this is a different schedule compared to last year's for Syracuse to kind of lead off the bat there.
Well, we're gonna learn a lot this weekend.
Yeah. We'll get that back up obviously in a second.
If they get blown out this weekend,
yeah,
it's gonna be like, oh.
Yeah, because I don't view this Tennessee team as being as good as last year by any means.
But Notre Dame and Syracuse are both games that they could definitely win this week.
Yeah,
even though they're both tough teams.
Yeah, I think specifically at this game for Syracuse, if they can keep it between the rails and get out, if they do lose, right, in this regard, as long as they keep it in the rails, like, they should be all right.
Yeah. But this is a Syracuse athletic program that's led by Steve Angeli and J.J. Starling, obviously 2 great Notre Dame former players.
That wasn't my reasoning of keeping the quarterback conversation in that way until after we get done with this part.
You're welcome, Syracuse. You're welcome. But I'm intrigued. Angeli looked good the little bit he played last year for Notre Dame. And I'm excited that he got the job.
Yeah.
Obviously, the other kid,
Ricky Collins,
was supposed to be pretty good too.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see if Angeli's still a starter by the time that Notre Dame comes around. Right. But I would like to see him get his revenge game. Big game, obviously, this week. I think they can win it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they lose a close one. But I think that gives them the confidence going forward that they can win these big games they got down the line. I know it's early.
I will say this, and I agree with what you're saying, because I don't think it's as bad as a team as a lot of people kind of think. And I don't think bad is really the right word for it even. I think it's just a lot of people think they're going to be overmatched to a degree. And I don't think they're maybe wrong this year. I think a lot of it helped that, right? Like, you had a pretty easy schedule last year. But, like, under a first-year head coach, you go 9-3 in the regular season, 10-3 overall. I don't think that's anything to really slouch at. You know what I mean?
Anytime you get 10-win season in college football.
Yeah. I now, mind you, we didn't do this part with Notre Dame, admittedly, because I don't think it's as fun with that team. But, like, you look at books where you're able to bet Syracuse because you can't do it in New York State. A lot of them have their over-under wins at 5.5, and to me, I think it's over. Now, I don't think it's by a ton. I think we're probably looking at a 7-5 season for Syracuse, admittedly. I think 8-4, like you said, for them, I think it's the ceiling for the team. I just think there's will be some growing pains this year a little bit. It is admittedly a younger team than last year, despite having one of the oldest guys in college football play for them. I think it's a 7-5 team, more or less.
I'm thinking 8-4. They lose Tennessee, SMU, Notre Dame, and I think they're going to have one slip up as they usually do.
Classic Syracuse game somewhere.
And I'm going at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, we'll put the schedule back up here. If just going game by game for them, maybe a little bit here. I'm with you. I think they lose to Tennessee. I think it's back-to-back wins though against UConn, Colgate.
But you heard me right. I'm going at Clemson. Yeah, they're going in there.
I think that's a win for them. I don't.
They always play
them tough. Again, this leaks into, say, the predictions overall. I think that's the best Clemson team since before COVID. I think they do beat Duke, though. I know it's a bit of a resurgent Duke team going into this year, but I think 3-2 at the end of September is going to be nothing to really turn your nose at if you're an Orange fan.
You know what's kind of spooky?
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned that Bill Belichick's coming to the Dome on Halloween.
Yeah, we're going to get there. It's interesting because I won't be in town for it.
Kind of spooky, huh?
But yeah, I think they lose at SMU. That puts them at 3-3. I like to imagine they beat Pitt, but who knows? Same thing with that Georgia Tech game. Who knows? UNC's. Who knows?
Especially how the Pitt game went last year. They gotta beat them.
Yeah, down in Miami though, that'd be funny if.
So who's the teams they play every year? Guarantee. Is that Pitt?
I think now it's Pitt, BC. Oh, Pitt and BC are the two.
The two.
Yeah,
I think it is only two.
Yeah, I don't know. The
Also-
ACC block schedule.
SEC 9-game regular season schedule next year.
Yeah, I was gonna wait until we get to kind of maybe the very end of the college stuff here, but yeah, they aren't. To be fair though, the SEC is not the only conference really going to that. Big Ten's doing it more or less without saying it, and
Really?
they haven't said it. It's one of those like worst kept secret type things. So
I'm confident Syracuse. Tough
yeah,
schedule.
I think they get to a bowl game. I have a hard time imagining they don't get to a bowl game this year.
What?
Do I think it's 9-3 at the end of the regular season like last year? No, I think it's 7-5.
Lose a tough one to Tennessee. Lose a shocking one to UConn.
Yeah, I think even if they get to the end of September at 2-3, say they lose that Duke game, I still think they can get to a bowl game. Like I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's going to be as bad as people.
There's games there to be had.
Yes, correct. Now, you teed it up a little bit. I've been saying it. Both our teams had quarterback battles through the spring and even through the summer, technically, to be fair here. For Syracuse, it did come down to a former Notre Dame guy, Angeli, as we talked about, beating out Ricky Collins. But it sounded like Collins was pretty close all the way through. For Notre Dame, it ends up we have a true freshman for the first time in program history winning the job. So how do you feel about that as an Irish fan?
Oh, I'm hoping this guy does not transfer because, that happens all the time.
True.
I just want a Notre Dame quarterback that's going to be there for a while. I'm just sick of these one-and-done quarterbacks. Sam Hartman, Riley Leonard, Brandon Wimbush.
But Sam Hartman's
I forgot all about.
But Sam Hartman's pretty.
Me and Pat, your brother Pat, we looked up, who's a Miami fan, obviously.
Yeah.
And we looked up that game. He said Brandon Wood. He's trying to make me name the quarterback. I forgot Wimbush was even a thing. He might have played more than 1 year, but yeah.
Where was he again? Was he between Reese or Book and Reese or something?
I was trying to figure that out. When was that game? 2018, 17?
Something like that, yeah.
17? It was definitely before Buck.
Yeah. No, I thought that would have been after. Oh, wow. No, you are right. That is before. No, wait. That's after Buck. Isn't it?
Didn't Buck go to the playoffs?
Oh, boy. We might have to do some theater of the mind here. You keep going.
Buck lost to Alabama in the playoffs, I think.
I thought that was Reese.
Tommy Reese? Oh, Tommy Reese was early 2010s.
Maybe I am getting them switched then.
Yeah, Tommy Reese was switching off with Everett Golson when they went to the title game in 2013, 2012. Yeah. But yeah.
There's no way Ian Book is actually that young, though. He's 27.
Well, they went to the playoffs twice, Notre Dame. They lost to Clemson the 1 year, and they lost to Alabama. I'm trying to remember those years. But, we had a quarterback battle, and Carr wins the job. Just excited to see a guy play for Notre Dame for a few years.
Yeah.
I'm excited. What about you, Angeli? What is he, technically a junior?
That's the interesting part. He's a redshirt junior. So I don't know if it's whatever, but the interesting part is he's a redshirt junior and Collins is a redshirt sophomore. So we'll kind of see how everything plays out with that. But yeah, I think a little bit, is just the element of a veteran kind of getting you to that Tennessee game. And I think from there it might get a little bit more wide open-ish. Like I would expect in the scenario that I'm thinking that Ricky Collins will for sure see the field against Colgate. You know what I mean? Barring some sort of ludicrous thing happening in that game specifically.
It does suck. Colgate's their only real
but
through a game.
But part of that is Syracuse has I think it's kind of like a handshake agreement with a lot of those old former independent 1A teams like them. Holy Cross is another one that, like they played them last year. I think a lot of people forget that, like, actually Syracuse Holy Cross was actually a pretty big rivalry back in the 50s and 60s, but
I did forget about that, yeah.
well, yeah, it's tough. It's tough when we weren't around, but
Actually, I don't think I ever knew it.
either way, yeah, I think a lot of the Angeli part, right, is just the fact veteran. He's been in high pressure situations obviously before. It gets you. He probably gets, I would imagine, through that Clemson game at the very least, right? And then go from there. So, like I said, my understanding was the Collins thing was pretty tight through spring and summer. So,
How'd he take the news?
as far as I know, good. I mean, he's done interviews and stuff like that. So I think for him, I think the tough part was, like, they brought Angeli in partially also because Collins was hurt in the spring. They didn't know fully what the plan was going to be with him. But like you said, I mean, in this world, who knows? I mean, Syracuse has 4-star quarterbacks inbound and on roster already. Who knows? So that's
Fran Brown year 2.
Yeah, Fran Brown year 2. It's kind of crazy. We'll see how it fully plays out. Prediction time. Just going to rattle through we'll go through the 4 power conferences and probably, I guess, technically the Mountain West, because that's, I feel like this year more than likely where we'll get the G5.
I remember when it used to be Power 6.
Yeah. At minimum Power 5. So, ACC champion. I think it's Clemson. I'm just gonna call it.
I'm gonna go with SMU.
Okay. Interesting. I don't hate that pick.
I had to think about it. I was thinking, like,
okay.
Virginia Tech came on my mind.
Ugh, I don't. That's a job that I wouldn't like. I'm a Brent Pry guy, but
I think SMU.
That's an interesting job if that goes sideways the first month of the year.
SMU, I'm gonna pick. I'm just not buying Clemson until I see it again.
The Big 10, that's the Big 18.
Yeah. Oregon. Is it still divisions?
No, they got rid of them technically.
So wait, Michigan, Ohio State could play 2 weeks in a row?
In theory.
Hasn't happened yet, though.
No.
But I'm going Oregon.
I'm gonna do a little bit of historical pick here. Last time they had a bunch of stuff happening, they ended up winning the whole damn thing anyway. I'm gonna go Michigan.
I won't say it. I just can't say that.
I don't hate it. I know you can't, but I don't know. I'm not buying Ohio State fully. A lot of interesting stuff surrounding that program. Same thing, I guess, with Michigan technically, but yeah.
What Lou Holtz said about our football team.
I don't hate Oregon, though. I don't hate that pick.
Thank you.
Big 12. This one, literally, you could pick probably, I'd say, about 7 teams out of a hat. And I
don't think Arizona State's going to win it again.
Okay, I'm happy that we're at least on the same page there.
Iowa State looked pretty good. Kansas?
I don't hate that pick either.
I'll go Iowa State.
I'm going to go BYU.
All right, I like that pick.
Yeah. A lot of people are picking them, though, so I don't know.
I honestly forgot they were in the Big 12.
Yeah, did you?
These conferences,
That'll happen. Hey, speaking of forgetting where teams are, the SEC.
Okay, so who's in this one now?
That one at least is a little bit easier of a follow.
Yeah. Texas.
So, I want to, but Texas, and this can maybe be a little bit of a teaser for our national championship picks here too, because Texas is a big one there too. Outside of 2006, has Texas ever lived up to the hype?
No.
At least in our lifetimes, anyway.
You think the Saints are, not to go into NFL talk real quick, you think the Saints are tanking for Archie to get his grandson on the Saints as well?
Even though it's not a guarantee he comes out.
Yeah. You think that's what's going on there? Spencer Rattler, really?
Did Tyler Show really look that bad?
I don't know.
I mean, I'd say anything is possible with that franchise. So
who are you picking for the SEC?
I feel like it's a lame pick of sorts. I'm going to go Georgia. I will say this. I want everything in my power for it, though, to be South Carolina. I just don't think it happens. So, tell you what, I know you mentioned, obviously, when we were talking about Notre Dame, but you want to know who I think is a really good kind of sleeper Heisman pick? Lenora Sellers.
Really?
Yeah. For South Carolina, the quarterback. Former Syracuse commit.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's not a bad pick. They got to win, though. I feel like you got to win a little bit.
Yeah.
Bit the highs.
You do.
Unless you're Colorado.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, where's Colorado?
well, also the Big 12, but yeah.
Mountain West.
Mountain West, we're going to do them only because it's more than likely where that G5 participant's going to be coming from.
Who would be the other option?
Outside of Boise?
No, outside the Mountain West. What would be the other
Well,
one?
the American would probably be the next technically in line. But, I mean, your hopefuls.
Conference USA could get one, maybe.
Yeah, but that one again. I mean, I'd say Sun Belt has a better
Isn't there
shot.
only 9 conferences? Something like that?
This year, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the Sun Belt has the better chance maybe out of those other groupings, but
Mountain West, Boise State.
yeah, I think unfortunately it's Boise pretty hook, line, sinker. There would have to be a lot of, I think, some help happening elsewhere.
Now a moment of silence for the Pac-12.
For now. She'll be back next year, though. So
That's right. They're coming back, right?
yeah. Sunbelt is going to be a fun conference this year. I know you don't really get out into the weeds too much on these conferences, but
This guy. I think I'm a Sun Belt fan. I follow the Sun
who do you
Belt.
think's going to win the Sunbelt then?
Is Alcorn State in it?
Alcorn State is part of the SWAC in FCS.
The Sun Belt. Let me get one. Sun Belt. I'm thinking Summit. I thought South Dakota State was in it.
No.
That's the Summit. Sun Belt. Let me get one team in the Sun Belt.
Disappointed you can't get probably two of the glaring obvious ones.
I just can't think right now. Sun Belt. Where is the Sun Belt? Where's that located?
Predominantly southeast.
Oh, southeast.
Yeah.
Oh, Sun Belt.
Yeah, the Sun Belt.
Sun Belt.
What are you doing now?
Tried to say it so it made me think. Why can't I name one team in the Sun
Do you
Belt?
need me to help you out here?
Give me one and I'll rattle them off.
Appalachian State.
Oh, you got it.
Is that who you're picking?
Were they always in the Sun Belt?
Well, since they've moved to FBS, yeah.
Try to think basketball. Sun Belt. Okay.
James Madison.
Okay. Continue with your Sun Belt.
Old Dominion. Coastal Carolina.
James Madison. Good one.
Coastal. Georgia Southern and Georgia State.
Yeah, I'm more of a Summer fan.
Troy. Nothing for Troy.
No. I got nothing on them.
What about for Louisiana?
Couldn't name one Louisiana player.
Arkansas State.
Wichita?
Texas State.
Wichita?
Arkansas State.
Arkansas State.
You disappoint me.
What about the Sun Belt?
So you don't have a winner pick for the Sun Belt.
Oh, you gave me a lot there. So I'm going to go Appalachian State.
Going App State. I'm going to go with James Madison again.
Jeez, Madison. Mm-hmm. They finally eligible, bowl eligible?
Yeah.
They finally tournament eligible?
Yeah.
About time.
How do you feel about the MAC?
The MAC action Wednesday night,
Yeah.
Tuesday night.
You wouldn't last a quarter in Ypsilanti.
Kent State.
Wow. That's a pick. The literal worst team in college football.
They're going to win the MAC.
Wow. So you're going worst to first with the Golden Flashes.
Why not?
I'm going to go Bowling Green.
They ain't got nothing on Kent State.
Love it. National championship winner.
Kent State.
So you're on Kent State. Wow. Against Boise State?
National championship winner. I'm going to go Notre Dame over Oregon.
Okay. There are certain people out there who knows that this is going to make me cringe. It's going to hurt. I'm taking Clemson to win it all. It hurts.
After the Syracuse loss, they're still going to make
It
it?
hurts. Everything hurts. I have Clemson beating Oregon.
At least you got some green in there. You got Syracuse, Tennessee, Clemson. It's all orange.
Yeah.
At least you got some green in there. So you got Oregon losing.
Yep.
So we both got Oregon.
In at least, yeah.
But you have who win in the Big Ten? Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan's getting upset.
I guess so. Let's go to our picks then for the weekend.
Is Michigan beat Oregon in the Big Ten championship?
Yeah. Well, how else would they win the title?
Well, you get 3 Big Ten teams.
Fair enough. 4-1 last week for yours truly, Nick. You went 3-2
last year.
You went 3-2 last week.
Yes.
The graphics will be here next week because I'm just doing them as a bulk thing.
Do we have Kent State as a pick this week?
No. We have Syracuse versus Tennessee. Tennessee 13.5-point favorites. 12 p.m. kickoff on Saturday.
I have said Tennessee's going to win a close one, so I'm going to go Tennessee.
I would be, not being the true homer I am, I'm taking Syracuse. I'm willing to just take the loss on this game. I just got to ride high. I got to start riding the high early here. So
They very well could win this game, though.
Yeah. All right, we got the next game, also a noon kickoff on Saturday. Texas, number 1 team in the country at number 3, Ohio State.
I'm not putting the Brutus head on. I'm going Texas.
It pains me because I hate both these teams for different reasons. And as much as I am horns down, I got to take Texas. I got to.
Yeah.
This
is the Archie Manning era?
The Arch Manning.
Oh, he's Arch.
He's Arch.
Grandfather's Archie?
Yeah. Come on, you're an Eli guy.
You think Archie would be a kid's name? Maybe he was a kid at one point.
You would think. Number 9, LSU. At number 4, Clemson. 7:30 p.m. kickoff. Clemson is a 3.5-point favorite.
LSU.
But why, Nick?
Because Jaden Daniels is playing quarterback. And Joe Burrow's there to back up.
I'm going Clemson because none of those guys are there.
I think Brian Kelly needs a good
You're saying this could be a signature win of sort then?
Yes. He never gets the big win. But I think this week he will.
I'm going to go Clemson here.
No, I don't need it.
By the way, not only is it a battle of tigers, by the way, in this game. See, this is probably something you maybe don't know. I don't know how deep into the college football lore you get. It's also a battle of Death Valleys. Both call their stadium nickname Death Valley.
I used to get confused for a while.
It's very confusing. Figure it out. Winner of this game gets rights to both.
I think so.
Loser has to pick a new nickname and a new nickname for their stadium.
I'm more of a Wildcats versus Wildcats fan.
More of a Bulldog versus Bulldog kind of guy.
Yeah, really.
Because I like dogs.
There's no orange versus orange.
If you ask Tennessee fans, that is the case this weekend.
Yeah. There's
That's a different story.
A lot of orange.
Sunday, 3 p.m. kickoff. Virginia Tech against number 13 South Carolina.
So you like Virginia Tech?
I don't. I'm taking South Carolina. And the reason why I picked this game is because it's one of the marquee games of the weekend, allegedly.
I'll take South Carolina, too.
Yeah. Well, we differentiated on 2 of the 4 games. Will we differentiate on the 3rd? Probably not, because it's number 6 Notre Dame and number 10 Miami. Miami is getting 2.5 points Sunday night at Hard Rock Stadium.
Well, you're not getting a Y out of me this week.
For the 2nd week in a row.
Yep. Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'm taking ND as well. I'm sorry. Again, this is kind of like the Texas thing. Why should I buy into the hype of Miami when they have failed to produce constantly?
It's just a terrible sports city.
Well, let's not get too carried away. The Marlins are hot.
NASCAR champions are crowned there.
Next year again, you're right. Hey, that'll do it for today. College football breakdown. Next week, NFL. Looking forward to that. Nick, who are you shouting out today?
Not a shout out, but a omission. Shout out. I guess it's a shout out.
You could say that this is the error portion of our show.
Shout out Tommy Fleetwood winning the FedEx Cup championship this year. Very cool. I didn't realize.
Wait, 2 seconds. Do you like the picks for the Ryder Cup from Keegan Bradley?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like them.
Okay.
It's a tough job to be in.
That's true.
There's a lot. It's going to be some big stumps either way. But I didn't realize Tommy Fleetwood had never won a PGA Tour event.
That's crazy.
That one. What a first one to win. But my real shout out is for my cousin Johnny Marino, whose birthday is today.
Oh.
Turned 29.
Nice.
Shout out Johnny. Fantasy baseball legend. And have a great birthday. Shout out.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention, speaking of birthdays, that tomorrow my mom, her birthday. So shout out to Michelle. Love you.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Russo.
She's turning 29. Definitely not a number ending with 0 tomorrow. So happy birthday to her. And then also next week.
Still waiting for her to come on the podcast.
Also next week, happy birthday to my dad. Next Tuesday, it's his
Shout out,
birthday,
Mr. Russo. Still waiting for him to come on the podcast.
Yeah, better chance weirdly of my mom making an appearance than my dad.
Well, that's been a rumor since this thing started, is your mom.
Yeah, she wouldn't know what to talk about, though.
It doesn't matter. The views, that's what we're looking for.
If
she'll bring views.
We need to figure out a way. The tough part for her is she works on Wednesdays, so.
Well, it's the tough part why we haven't gotten Pat or Matt on the show in a long time.
And now for sure Pat, because he's going to days, so.
Yeah.
Either way.
Sad times for the normal, used to be regular guests on this show.
Did you see that?
No.
The light just reset over there.
Really?
That was crazy.
But
looked over, I'm like, what the hell is flashing?
Everyone have a great SMS festival this weekend.
Yep, that's true. I'll be there on Saturday. I get to see the Bananas Friday night, but
Yes.
Maybe I'll talk more maybe a little bit on that next week if we have time.
We have time. My picks for the Savannah Bananas in Pittsburgh that you're going to. Final picks, Neil Walker, Josh Harrison, and AJ Burnett. You're getting 3.
Yeah, I'm pissed I didn't get the Neil Walker one. I'm just sticking with Harrison and Jason Grilly. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know of any other really bad or outside of those two. It really could be. I mean,
Ryan Dolman.
Well, no.
Jason Kendall, though.
We workshopped last week. If we're going from that time frame, Tabata maybe or Alvarez or I did bring up. I thought it was a good one, Gregory Polanco, but I don't know.
I could see him doing that.
Yeah, too. I don't know how it would. Whatever. So either way, we'll get out of here.
Jason Kendall would be cool. That's your boy.
It would. I am a Jason Kendall stan. So hey, we're getting out here on that note. Appreciate everybody for listening and tuning in. Back at it next week. NFL preview. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. We'll talk next week.